inside the historian. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now, earlier this week, I was rewatching some of my favorite YouTube videos that I've made, and I came across a video. It's one of my favorite videos called The Perfect Bookish Day, except in that video, ChatGPT picked it for me. Love the video, but I was thinking, I want to do this again without ChatGPT. We are once again having a perfect bookish day, but this time, you guys picked it. At the beginning of this week, I asked Bookstagram what I should do to have my perfect bookish day, and I asked you guys on my stories through a series of emojis, and you just had to pick the emojis that kind of corresponded with what you wanted me to do. This is my Bookstagram, by the way. It's just Shreyavt's shelf. I'll leave that down below for you. Make sure you find me on there because I do put a lot of story polls on there, and I have a lot of bookish content on there as well. This is going to be a more chill bookish day. It is winter. I know that the last bookish day I did was the final day of summer, and I jam-packed that day, but we're having a nice relaxing day today. There were a few questions I asked you related to like what we're drinking, what we're doing, which bookstore we're going to, which book we're reading. That's the important one. I am about to head into the city so we can start our bookish day, so let me tell you what the first prompt was. The very first question that I asked you guys was which drink I should get. I don't necessarily make a habit of going out and buying drinks, like I don't actually do that very often, so this is like a little treat for me. It's part of the perfect bookish day if you ask me. So I put this question up on my story. Obviously the options are matcha or coffee. You guys couldn't decide, and I can't blame you because both of them are so good. I am going to get to choose what I want to do now because it's a 50-50 split. I'm thinking I'm gonna go get a matcha because honestly, when it comes to coffee, I love the coffee that I make at home. It is so good. I can't even describe it, but if you've had South Indian filter coffee, you know exactly what it is. Today, we're going to spend a beautiful day wandering around the city, visiting bookstores, buying books, reading the book, and of course I'll give you a review for the book once I'm done. So let's get ready, let's head into the city, and I'm gonna go pick up my matcha, and then we'll see where our bookish day takes us from there, chosen by you, of course. I got my matcha and it is indeed hitting the spot. I'm already halfway through it. I hope you can hear me as well. But this leads us to the next part of our bookish day. The next question that I asked you guys is which bookstore do I go to? And you guys are just as indecisive as me because we had a 50-50 split as well here. The top one is Dimmock's George Street, which incidentally is what my matcha place is the closest to. So I was tempted to go there. And then the one at the bottom with the bow and the heart is Romancing the Novel, which is Sydney's only romance bookstore, and I was also really tempted to go to that one because I haven't been to Romancing the Novel in a month since the last book club, so I would love to go back. And I also don't think I think I've only purchased one book there before, and I'd really love to go and support them a little more because of course it is an indie bookstore. I also asked you straight after that which book are we buying, and I put a sword up, and half of the sword has fire on it, the other half has flowers on it, and you guys picked the one with the flowers, which I symbolized with a heart and a sunset. This is actually my book club book for the romance bookstore, and it is called Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. It's a small town romance, a second chance romance, and I love a second chance romance. So we're going to go to Romancing the Novel now, pick up Whispers of You. This is truly one of my favorite bookstores in Sydney, so very excited to go back. I thought we could do a quick look at everything I got while I was at Romancing the Novel. I love that store. I love it so much. It just feels so good, like the vibes in there. Anyway, of course, first and foremost, we have the book Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles, which is a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So I think this should only take like 1.5 days to read, and the font is massive as well. Such a beautiful cover. Scarlett, the owner, threw in a little bookmark for me for this store, so I will be using that when I read this. And then I'm very excited about this. There was a pre-order campaign for The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, but I did miss out on that pre-order campaign. However, I managed to pick up the bookmark and sticker packs for me and a friend. Actually, let's go through that too. Why don't we? We have a signed book plate from Brigitte Knightley. Then we have the Darefuls for Oriane and Osric. And then this beautiful bookmark. I don't know who designed this, but I'll make sure I find out because it's absolutely stunning. So we have that side, which is Oriane, that side, which is Osric. The final question I asked you guys for what should I do for my bookish day was, what are our reading vibes? And there were two options. The first one was like trees, mushroom city, and that referred to Hyde Park, which is where I'm currently sitting. The second one had a teddy, coffee, and candles, and that refers to my bed. That refers to me going home and just having like a cozy reading afternoon, and that won by 77%. And I think it's because of the picture I put in the back of it, which was me watching Harry Potter in bed from one of my vlogs earlier in the year. I am going to go home now and continue this reading day. However, it is beautiful here. It's so sunny. It got too hot. I had to take off my massive sweater. I'm very excited to start this. It is a contemporary romance, which I feel like it's perfect to start on a warm day, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm back home from the city and I've changed into something comfy because I think I sat on something while I was at Hyde Park. But now that we're here, it's time to start the book. I'm not over how gorgeous this is. It's also nice and short, so I feel like we can get a decent way through this book today. I mean, it was meant to be the perfect bookish day, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna take more than a day to read, so we'll continue a little into tomorrow, I think. While I was on the bus home, I did actually start reading this book. Guys, I was expecting a normal small town second chance romance. Why was she being pew-pewed in the first chapter? Chapter 1, that's how it goes. She's at home waiting for her boyfriend and suddenly two men break in and... So this might actually go very different from what I thought it would be, because I really just thought it was a run-of-the-mill fluffy little romance. No, it seems like a hell of a lot more. And a lot of people who have reviewed this on Goodreads are saying that it's Catherine Cowles' best book yet. So I have really high hopes actually, and while I was picking this up at Romancing the Novel, the owner was saying that she adored this book and she was really hoping that I would too. She picked it specifically because it's, you know, it's got a little bit of a darker twist to it, so very excited to see how on earth this unfolds. The back of the book says, "One night, a single moment cost me everything. My body broken beyond repair." Now it makes sense why she was... Yeah. "The boy I thought was my forever, the life I'd always dreamt of, and in the second chance part, he's back. Now the love interest is a man with shadows in his eyes and demons haunting him, who is here to make everything right." So I'm assuming the people who tried to attack her are probably still on the loose and he is there to protect her or to hunt them down, or he might have become a cop or something. I don't know, I'm making that up. I shut my blinds. So that is coziness part 1. Even though it is still bright, like, it just makes me feel really, really cozy. The next step is picking out the candles. I have a lot of candles. Most of them are bookish candles as well. This one though, I really wanted to use this one. This is Valkyries, and of course it is inspired by A Court of Silver Flames, but I picked it because it's a gorgeous navy color and I don't know, I feel like it matches the book, but also it smells like hot apple and ginger. It is such a comforting but fresh smell, and I think it really does give a sort of small town, mountainous, mysterious kind of feeling to me, because that's how A Court of Silver Flames feels. I also have some peppermint tea. Please hold. My tea, which is currently steeping. So I'm going to go set up our little cozy afternoon and then we can get to reading. I've now got my coffee. I'm about a quarter of the way through this book now. I'm really loving it. It's got that thriller vibe to it, but I'm just gonna keep going because there's not much I have to say as of yet. It just dawned on me that I finished the book and I didn't even bother updating you on how it went. How rude of me. I finished this last night, the same day that I started it. I swear it took like 5 hours maximum to read just because it is so undeniably short. My overall thoughts: it's a nice premise, but it's a pretty underwhelming execution, to be honest with you. So the story goes is that when Holt returns to Cedar Ridge, the murders reignite, but this time people who survived, or people or family members who survived the murders 10 years ago, they are starting to get picked up one by one. So it does have a really interesting premise, I'll be honest. This is supposed to be a small town second chance romance, although I couldn't care less about the romance. Like, the romance was so bland, so uninteresting, and so underdeveloped. When you write a second chance romance, you have to put in a ton of flashbacks that tells us the foundation of the couple's story, and only then are we going to emotionally connect with them. And there has to be a good reason that they were driven apart. I didn't find either of those in this story, so the romance was a mess for me. The mystery and the thriller plotline was the real thing driving this story forward. The people who attacked our main character in the prologue of the book, they are locked up and in jail, so there are other people who are doing this. Now, the good news is I actually was surprised at the murderer's reveal. Like, it wasn't someone I was expecting. That's a very good thing. The bad thing is the motive was not very good. It didn't really make much sense to me why on earth this murderer did what they did. Regardless of that, it was quick, it was engaging. I basically couldn't stop reading because it was just so easy to get through, and I really wanted to know who the murderer was. But yeah, I think it was enjoyable enough. The one thing I'll say is, if you like Devney Perry's cowboy romance series, I forget what it's called, but there's an undercurrent of mystery in those stories too. If you liked those, I really think you would love Whispers of You. Like, it's the same feeling. Also, this is a really small point, but I have noted in my Goodreads review that the male main character's nickname for the female main character is Cricket. Cricket. Like the chirpy little insect. Why must we do this? Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. I adored our cozy little day together. I did have a wonderful time yesterday. It was one of the most peaceful days. I feel like I should make an effort to have this sort of day at least once a month. But speaking of what we did yesterday, I do have to add something. You know the bookmark and the sticker set I showed you from the Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy? I think I've talked on this channel before how badly I wanted the Illumicrate edition of Irresistible, because I did see leaks for it and it was fantastic. And the cover is being done by Frostbite Studios, who is immensely talented. And I was really just holding off on making that purchase because I was like, Shreya, what if something better comes along? Guys, Fairy Loot dropped this, and the same artist who designed the stickers that I got yesterday is designing the cover. I'm gonna try my hardest to get my hands on that one. That's just a very random update, completely unrelated to this book, but thank you for spending another day with me. That's all from me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.